these less than these aren't things where you're accomplishing. You're only repairing the negatives. You're only fixing what somebody else broke or something else broke. And that's very different from contriving some excuse to boldly go where no man has gone before kind of bullshit, or to be chasing leprechaun gold, which is mostly what this fucking psychedelic crap is made out of. It's some sort of phantasmagorical flying voodoo truck, that you ride, and somehow everything's all wonderful and life makes sense. No, I'm sorry, life is stupid and shitty, and your little silly love experience is not evidence of anything. It's just evidence of your brain's capacity to manifest an emotional relationship with bullshit. You have a relationship with bullshit, a bullshit story. And that's all that LSD provides, is something to fall in love with.
Like, is there a state in your life that you would come to where you wouldn't feel like something's bullshit anymore? I mean, like, this whole, to me, it seems like, for you, human beings are just another step in these biosystems, and we're just sort of like the same shit, doing the same thing but on a different scale. But, is there something that's beyond this relativism you always talk about that's
I'm
actually
sorry,
truly
I can't.
genuine
I
and
can't
actually
know.
truly
I always
meaningful?
come back to the fucking point. We know what we are. We're the product of a piece of chemistry that acquired the ability to reproduce, and that's all we are. Okay, is what happens when you set that thing loose. When you set that little reproducing machine loose, and you give it a couple of few billion years to fuck around, this is what it'll come to, is some sort of manifestation like this. Something where you're going to have a bunch of living things feeding on other living things, because we're trapped on an island. So we can't, we have to eat each other. So we just have layers of organisms feeding on technically their own kind, their relatives. And it's disgusting. It's just a stupid infestation gone crazy. It's just bugs eating bugs. And yeah, we're more schemable. We have these elaborate conscious experience, so there's some value to that. But it's not value like accomplishing value. It's a value only because it's a precious thing in a shithole. It's a kitten in a bucket of acid or something. It's something to try to get out of the acid, but there's nothing to be accomplished besides rescue. Well, that's all we can do is rescue consciousness from the shit. But we can't build a perfect world for it. We can't fix it. We can't undo the consumption and reproduction origin. Mic on. Still no mic. I think I'm better this
We
way.
can't hear you.
Yeah, well, he's kind of better that way, though, isn't it? I mean, I kind of like him so much better when I can't hear him.
Oh, sorry. Um, I'm just saying this speculation thing. Um, what would a state or condition of humanity look like for you, and how can we sort of that would be sort of meaningful? And what is meaningful speculation into that? That's not just sort of this projecting of emotion onto bullshit things like fucking a train or whatever you said. How can we meaningfully speculate and get beyond this point where we're just looking back at how we're just these chemical processes doing these animalistic things?
Well,
Look beyond
I
this to
can't
things you like to
imagine
draw.
any world besides a world made out of what we're made out of, our sensual experiences. So yeah, if I'm going to build a utopia, it's going to be some kind of me Tarzan, you Jane. I'm going to build it out of the thing I know of, the desire and the sensual pleasure that controls and's driven me for most of my life. So yeah, that's got to be part of the scenario, and so that's just an entertainment. All I'm doing is entertaining desire psychology. I need cheese. I need to be fed the cheese, and so I'm arguing that, okay, if we have to do that, let's find the most efficient way to get the cheese into my fucking head. So yeah, maybe virtual reality, that's really efficient. I can create elaborate worlds for me to live in, and I can do interesting and fascinating things, and, blah, 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 blah. But there's really nothing to accomplish but entertain the sense organs. The senses want the sensation. They want the deprivation. They've been deprivated. They're being denied their completeness, and they want to be completed by extracting this stuff. That's what we've been made. That's what's forcing us to wiggle through the biosphere. And so I'm just saying that's the only mechanism that exists. There's nothing else to do here. What is your plan? That we intellectually do what? E equals MC squared plus Dollywood? I mean, how do you put something else in here that isn't bullshit? How do you add something to the equation of life or doing that makes any sense? Like I said, all you're going to do is come up with something stupid like an eighth ingredient for the special sauce, or atomic peanut butter, or what?
Here's two routes we can take.
What the fuck?
Okay, one is we strip humanity of all these emotional predispositions and get to the point where we are beings that are sort of a blank slate and that can approach things without all this bullshit baggage. The second is we can go through technology and do things like Bill Gates does and create something like a computer that is so complicated and complex that it seems to be almost a living organism of its own, but in a different direction, Use what we have to build off that, or wipe away what we do have.
Sorry. What a fucking idiotic goddamn comparison. Do what Bill Gates does. Bill Gates rented an operating system to fucking IBM. That's what Bill Gates did. He rented a fucking operating system.
I'm talking about computers in general, not Bill Gates personally.
Well, you use Bill Gates as the fucking analogy, okay? And if you're going to give credit for the computer to somebody, you ought to give it to fucking IBM. Because they did more to make computers accessible to people than Bill fucking motherfucking cunt Gates. Who didn't even write the fucking goddamn program. Alright, he bought it from one guy for $250,000 and then sold it to IBM for over $50 billion.
I don't think Bill Gates has enough money.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just stupid to talk about any kind of, well, yeah, I took some LSD and I figured out Bill Gates really did the fucking goddamn computer industry a lot of good. No, he's been a fucking leeching parasite. Fucking computers might be fucking 10 times more powerful than they are now if it wasn't for that motherfucking cunt. Okay, there might have actually been standards that were rational. There might have actually been able to have choices of operating systems.
There you go.
There might have been some real fucking competition over the last 20 years.
So, but there you go. You are saying that computers, outside of Bill Gates, but just the concept of a computer is this way of us creating something that could potentially have more meaning than human beings themselves.
No, I'm not saying it. What? No, I'm not saying anything like that. Computers don't feel. Who the fuck goddamn cares? Computers are just another entertainment device. It's another Barbie doll. It's another way of us getting what we fucking goddamn want. Our goddamn entertainment. What is the biggest thing on the computer? Oh, that's right. Porn.
Here's one thing. Can you not yell for 1 second?
No, fuck you. You're just making a stupid, idiotic argument. That's what? Computers are more valuable than what? Cockroaches? No, I'm sorry, they're not.
Dude, have a discussion.
There's no point. Dude is a stupid fucking goddamn thing to call anybody, so fuck you and the dude shit.
Okay, well...
Alright, so dude...
Are you gonna listen,
get a life.
Or are you gonna yell at your
Get
computer
serious.
screen?
No, I'm not gonna listen. No, you're not listening. You're interrupting. Why the fuck shouldn't I get more and more irritated by your lack of willingness to even turn your fucking